People, day 6. Day 6. I'm just so excited that we are at day 6. When I started this thing, I wasn't sure how it will pan out, but here we are, day 6. Thank you so much for tuning again, and also for the encouragement that you continue to give me during this time. Fellow Kenyans, thank you so much. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're tucked in. It's 10 p.m. and we want to do the story of today, the poem of today. So the poem of today, poem number 6. Oh, sorry, useless fact. Do you know bears, when they go to hibernation, which can last for 7 months, they don't poop? Yeah, Google why they don't or how they do it. All right, to the poem of today. It's called My Place. It was meant to be a place of worship, a sanctuary where my people come in their true shade, where both sinful and saved converge, a rainbow drawing light from the sun, a throne not of judgment but of love and mercy, a platform to clean the world, to correct the wrong, to construct the broken, to instruct the blind, to clothe the poor, to hear the dumb. But you have turned it into a place where the righteous meet, a fashion show for the strong and able, a ground where there are mere utterances that only echo back to your carnal nature. Who will fulfill my mission? My heart bleeds out when the gates are closed, and many return the same way they came. Man, I'm so sure there's so many people outside there who have experienced this story. A story where you've been hurt by the church. Nowadays, people will tell you the church is not what we used to know. And this poem tells us that the church was supposed to be a place where people go naked. People go, not literally, people are themselves. This is the place where diversity is supposed to be allowed. The poor and the rich, the upper class and the social and the lower class, anyone. If your country has classes. But church nowadays, it is just a place where people go to present themselves. It is actually an extension of the corporate world. And I know so many people who have been hurt because I've been part of the church. And as the bride of Christ, we're not doing a good job. We're not doing a good job of presenting him as the best man that is. We are fiddling with other men. We're fiddling and playing and groping with other men and other things. And this, in men in quotes, would be the things of the world. And I know people have been hurt. The only time we see in the Bible where Jesus Christ was very angry, it was when he went to the temple and found people who were turning it into a market. And the reason why is that because they were not taking it seriously. And we need to take this thing serious because so many people are hurt by our actions. And if you have been hurt by church, or the people of church, I ask you that you remember these institutions that are led by men and they are faulty. And I will urge you to go back, not to the same church, but to try another church. But this poem just really reminds us that the reason why we go to church is that Christ can be able to transform us. And it must be really hurting for Christ to see people coming out of church the same way they entered in. You went in jealous, you come out, in fact, more jealous, if there's one like that. You go in downtrodden, you come out, you're now even angry, and because you've not been encouraged. So that is the encouragement that I have for you today. You are part of the church, and please be the part of the change and not really part of the problem. On to the story of today. We are going to the land of Oga, Nigeria again. And it's called Why Children Belong to the Mother. There was once an animal called Njim, which had 2 sons named Obegud and Igwe. They lived in the forest near the home of a poor man and his wife who had 12 children. One day, these parents left their children at home and went to their farm. While they were away, the children were singing and playing together, and the wicked beast Njim heard their voices. She sent her son Obegud to their home to say that he had something to sell. The beast did so, and the children asked him to show his wares. As soon as he had succeeded so far in attracting their attention, he went back singing a song to let Ejim know that all was well. Ejim then rushed to the home and stood outside of the gate, a fearful sight. Then she thrust out her long, sharp claws, seized the child, and carried it off to her den in the woods. On their return from work on the plantation, the parents missed one of their children. They heard from others that a monster with a very long mouth had killed him and carried him off. Long away they kept their lost child. They wept, for their lost child. And when the time had come to go the farm next day, the farmer bade his wife go along while he waited at home to catch Jim. At first the woman would not go, but after a while her husband persuaded her. So she left him and went on. At noon the beast sent out her other son, Igwe, telling him to say what his brother Obegud had said the day before. He did so, and again the children asked him to bring out his wares. He then ran homeward, singing as he went another song, a sign to Njim that all was well. When Njim heard that this, she again came out to take one of the children. She came to the gate as before. The man was well armed, but at the horrible sight of the beast, he lost his courage. He ran for his life through the forest. He left his children helpless before the greedy monster. Njim then seized another child and carried it off to make of it a great feast. When the mother returned and learned that a second child had been taken, she was heartbroken. With her eyes filled with tears, she turned fiercely on her husband and asked why he had not saved his child. To cover up his cowardice, he told her that he had become suddenly sick and he had to leave the infants for a while, and during his short absence of the monster, he had come and had taken another. The children, however, all cried out, "No, mother!" Father fled in terror at the sight of the animal and left us to face the danger alone. The mother was very angry at him for his cowardly act and drove him away. He did not need to be told a second time. He went out and hid himself in the woods nearby. The mother said she would risk her life to save the children. She got a very sharp sword and waited for the beast, which came again as before, and thrust her head through the gate to seize a child. Then the woman took courage, faced the danger, and killed the beast. The children gave loud shouts of joy. The father, who had heard of all this, came from his hiding place in the hope that all danger was then over. Obegud and Igwe, the two sons of Njim, however, had heard the noise of the struggle and now rushed out to the aid of their mother. When the man saw these other two monsters, he ran back to his hiding place, but the woman held her position and was not afraid. She saved her children and killed the beast. When the mother had finished the fight with the beast, out came the worthless husband from his hiding place and asked for a knife, that he might divide the flesh of the beast between himself and his wife. The beast of the flesh he kept for the best part of the flesh he kept for his share, and gave the head only to the woman who had saved the children he had slain the beast. To this the mother of the children refused to agree. She called upon Master Obesi to decide between her husband and herself. To whom did the flesh of this beast belong? Obasi heard her cry and sent a messenger to bring him before him. When they arrived, the wife stood forth and bowed and said, "After promising to fight Njim and protect our children, my husband ran away and left them for the monster to kill. I am the one who stood forth fighting and slew not only the beast but also her two young. Yet my husband desires to give me only the head of all these animals. I come then to claim my right before our master." Obasi then asked the husband what he had to say in defense of taking such a large share, but he could not dispute what his wife had said. It was clear to Obasi that the wife had a brave heart to defend the children when their father had fled in fear. Obasi scolded the husband for deserting his children, then gave the order that from that henceforth no man should claim any property which his wife had risked her life to get. Obasi also said that should the wife choose to take the other 10 children away from her husband, she should be permitted to do so, for she had suffered much for their sake. A woman is sure to risk her life for the children, though thereafter but few men will do so. It is because of this decision that when a woman leaves her husband and returns to her parent, she may be forced to give up all gifts received from him, but not her children, nor any other thing for which she may have risked her life for. I don't think there's a need to explain in this story. The story is still the same. It seems like even then we had deadbeat our fathers. And if you're one of them, shame on you. The verse of today comes from Isaiah 66:13, and it says, "As a mother comforts her child, so will I comfort you, and you'll be comforted over Jerusalem." Have a lovely night and see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.